Have you ever felt completely stuck, like you're in a cage, but when you look around, there are no bars? You're in a dead-end job, a draining relationship, or just a life situation that makes you miserable. And even though a part of you knows you could leave, you just don't. You don't even try. This isn't because you're weak or lazy, it's a powerful psychological trap called learned helplessness. It's when your mind has been so thoroughly conditioned by past experiences that it believes any effort to escape is pointless, even when the door is wide open. This idea was famously explored by psychologist Martin Seligman. In his experiments, he found that when animals were repeatedly exposed to a painful stimulus, they couldn't escape. They eventually just gave up. They stopped trying to get away. But here's the crucial part. Later, when they were put in a new situation where they could easily escape, they didn't. They had learned that their actions didn't matter. They had learned to be helpless. And this happens to us too. Think about it. A childhood where your efforts were never good enough. A string of toxic relationships where your needs were always ignored. A period of chronic failure where nothing you did seemed to work. When you go through experiences like that, your brain learns a devastating lesson. Nothing I do matters. This isn't just a feeling, it's a learned belief that becomes wired into your thinking. And it's insidious because it starts to generalize. You don't just feel helpless in one specific area. You start feeling helpless everywhere. You stop trying at work, in your social life, in your personal goals, even in situations where you absolutely have the power to make a change. This mental paralysis is built on three core beliefs that form an iron triangle of inaction. The first is helplessness itself. Nothing I do makes a difference. You believe your actions and outcomes are completely disconnected. The second is hopelessness. This will never change. You see your bad situation not as a temporary state, but as a permanent sentence. And the third, and perhaps the most damaging, is internalization. It's all my fault. You don't just feel powerless, you blame yourself for it, which erodes your self-worth and makes it even harder to try. When these three beliefs take hold, they manifest in very real ways. It's why people stay in jobs they despise for years, never even updating their resume. It's why they remain in friendships or relationships that are emotionally abusive, tolerating mistreatment without setting a single boundary. It's a passive acceptance of pain, a deep-seated feeling of, why even bother trying? It's not going to work anyway. This mindset becomes an invisible barrier, more effective than any physical wall. It's like the classic story of the circus elephant. As a baby, it's tied to a stake with a strong rope. It pulls and pulls but can't break free. It learns its limits. As a full-grown adult, that same elephant, now powerful enough to rip the stake from the ground, can be held by a flimsy little rope. It doesn't even try to pull away because its mind is still chained by the memory of its past powerlessness. Your chains are just like that. They aren't real, not anymore. They are psychological echoes of a time when you truly couldn't escape. But your past powerlessness does not equal your present powerlessness. The key is realizing the rope is thin and the stake is loose. There's a very strong link between learned helplessness and depression. In fact, it's one of the leading models for understanding what causes major depressive disorder. When you fundamentally believe that you have no control over the good or bad things that happen in your life, your motivation dies. Why would you get out of bed, apply for that job, or go to the gym if you're convinced it won't make a difference? It's a state of learned futility. It shuts down the brain's reward system. Effort feels meaningless because you don't expect a positive result. This is why telling someone with depression to just try harder or be more positive is so unhelpful. They aren't lazy. Their brain has been trained to believe that trying is pointless. So if this is a learned behavior, how do you unlearn it? How do you break the cycle and tear down that invisible cage? The answer isn't some grand, heroic act. It's the opposite. You start with microcontrol. You find the absolute smallest, most ridiculously manageable thing in your life that you have control over, and you exercise that control. I'm talking tiny. Maybe it's just choosing to make your bed in the morning. Maybe it's deciding to drink a glass of water right now, or sending one email you've been putting off. Maybe it's saying no to a tiny request you don't have the energy for. The point of this isn't to solve all your problems at once. The point is to give your brain a piece of new evidence. Each small, successful action, no matter how insignificant it seems, sends a powerful message. Hey, I did that. My action created a result. You are rebuilding the effort to outcome connection in your brain. You're proving your learned helplessness wrong, one tiny victory at a time. Each success, no matter how small, helps to rewrite your neural pathways. You are literally retraining your brain to recognize your own agency. This process of relearning agency is like building a muscle. You don't start by lifting 300 pounds. You start with the 5-pound weights. Making your bed becomes cleaning one corner of your room. Saying no to a small request becomes setting a small boundary with a friend. Sending one email becomes updating one section of your resume. You build momentum. You gather evidence. You create a portfolio of success that directly contradicts the old, tired belief that nothing I do matters. A critical part of this is learning to distinguish the past from the present. Yes, maybe in the past you were genuinely powerless. As a child, you were dependent on adults. In that toxic situation, maybe there were real financial or emotional barriers preventing you from leaving. Acknowledge that. Validate that experience. Your feelings of helplessness were a logical response to a real situation. But that was then. This is now. Are you truly as powerless today as you were back then? Recognizing this difference is a huge step. It allows you to have compassion for your past self while empowering your present self to act. Helplessness is learned. And the most beautiful, powerful truth in that statement is that anything that is learned can be unlearned. You are not broken. You are not inherently flawed. You have simply been conditioned by your experiences. But you are the one who can recondition your mind. The cage has no walls anymore. The rope is frayed. The power is yours. So I want you to finish this video and do one thing. Just one small, deliberate act of agency. Prove to yourself right now that you are not powerless. You never truly were. Thanks for watching. If this resonated with you, consider subscribing for more content on psychology and self-improvement. Take care.